your mission, should you choose to accept it, recovery of a stolen item, designated Chimera.
In Sydney, Australia at Biosite Pharmaceuticals, Dr. Nekhorvich injects himself with Chimera and begs Dimitri to come to Sydney to accompany him to Atlanta because he needs to arrive at his destination within 20 hours. He meets Ethan on the plane and Ethan finds out they successfully created a cure for Chimera, but Gradsky passed before Bellerophon was created. Too bad Bellerophon can't cure Chimera if 20 hours have passed. The plane suddenly experiences a drop in cabin pressure and Ethan goes to see if everything is okay. Everyone puts on their oxygen masks and passes out. Hugh lowers the altitude to 10,000 and puts the plane on autopilot. Dr. Nekhorvich is glad he didn't put it on, but Ethan eliminates Dr. Nekhorvich when he finds out Ethan isn't Dimitri.
You keep calling me Dimitri.
You are not Dimitri.
Ethan takes the briefcase and reveals himself as Sean Ambrose. They wear their gear and jump out of the plane after getting rid of the evidence. The co-pilot tries to save the plane when he wakes up, but it is too late and crashes into the mountains. We see Ethan climbing the Grand Canyon without safeties like pro rock climber Alex Honnold. He takes a risky jump and almost falls off, but plot armor saves him. Ethan reaches the top and the IMF shoots a rocket at Ethan to give him his next mission. They want Ethan to recover Chimera and can choose 2 teammates, but his third has to be Nia Hall because she is a professional thief like Catwoman.
Involves recovery of a stolen item, designated Chimera.
Ethan must recruit Nia within 48 hours and meet Swanbeck at Seville to receive the assignment. If anything goes wrong on the mission, the US government will deny affiliation and the glasses self-destruct. In Seville, Spain, Ethan looks for Nia and when he finds her, she disappears. Nia sneaks upstairs and uses her gadgets to steal a necklace. Ethan is surprised and they get into an intimate position because someone walks in. Nia gets on top once the man leaves to pick the lock to steal the necklace while Ethan enjoys the view. Ethan warns Nia, but she triggers the alarms when putting the box back and the security team surrounds them. They get away with the robbery because the boss hired Ethan as the security consultant and Ethan forces Nia to return the stolen necklace. Nia declines Ethan's recruitment because he caused her to lose $500,000 necklace. Ethan triggered the alarm because he wanted to see how good she was and she drove away annoyed for getting bamboozled. Ethan catches up to her and offers to erase her criminal history if she helps him. Nia will help if Ethan can catch her and she starts playing bumper cars. Ethan is enjoying the chase, but he has to save her because she isn't keeping her eyes on the road. They spin out and Nia almost falls down the mountain, but Ethan saves her in time. They start making out when Ethan puts the moves on her and they end up in a room. Ethan wakes up mesmerized by her beauty and starts round 2. Later on, Ethan meets with Swanbeck and he shows Ethan the video of Dr. Nekhorvich creating a cure, but in the process creating a virus to the cure. He wants Ethan to escort him to Atlanta within 20 hours because he doesn't trust anyone but him. Ethan finds out Dr. Nekhorvich died in a plane crash, but Ethan doesn't know how Dr. Nekhorvich went without him. Swanbeck told Ethan they replaced him with Sean because they have similar builds. The head captain missed the flight but was found dead in a cargo. Swanbeck wants Ethan to use Nia to find out Sean's plan and where he's hiding because they were lovers before and Sean wants to woo her back. Ethan is contemplating using Nia to get to Sean, but Swanbeck is a cunning man and gets Ethan to do it.
This is not mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. It's mission impossible. Difficult should be a walk in the park for you.
Ethan returns to show Nia what Sean has done and would like her to be a part of the operation. Nia feels hurt because Ethan is using her after everything, but she finds out Ethan doesn't want to use her to get to Sean. She feels his affection and offers to help, but Ethan will need to arrange something where she would need Sean's help to get out, not to be suspicious. Ethan places a tracker on her and only his computer can track her. He knows Sean will know Nia has been arrested when he checks the news bulletins about the crash and will get her out. Ethan chooses Luther and Billy as his team and they meet up with Ethan. Luther tracks down Nia but is having issues with the visuals because of Ethan's trash computer and the satellite has a slow response time. Nia is escorted to Sean by his men and make out when they see each other. Wallace scans her to make sure she isn't wearing a wire and it comes back clean. Sean gives her a dress to change into but stops her to enjoy bedroom fun after checking her out. Ethan thinks Dr. Nekhorvich created a monster in Chimera and the antivirus Bellerophon to kill it. The next day, Sean is excited the buyer has his $37 million ready for him. Hugh thinks Nia is here for a reason because it's too much of a coincidence that she suddenly needs Sean's help. Sean gets annoyed with that question because he is willing to take the risk and gives Hugh a warning.
And I may or may not know why she thinks she's here,
But I'm willing to take the risk.
They go to the house tracks and Nia somehow picks the winning horse. Sean goes to get drinks and Billy gives Nia a booklet with an earpiece, so she tells Ethan what she learned. Ethan thinks the money in the newspaper is for potential buyers. Billy sees Sean meeting with John, the CEO of Biosite Pharmaceuticals, and is mad when Sean shows him a picture. John storms off and Sean puts the SD card away before returning to Nia. Ethan tells her where the SD card is and Nia swiftly steals it. Sean calls her back, but luckily he doesn't know he got robbed. Hugh follows behind Nia, but Billy gets in his way and Hugh gives Billy a stern warning because Billy injured his wounded finger.
If you're about in future, watch your step. You never know who you might run into.
Luther goes to table 12 to give Ethan a transfer camera and runs back to the van to start the transfer. They watch Dr. Sergei Gradsky being infected with Chimera and what the virus can do. Ethan wants Nia to bail because it has become too dangerous and Ethan will get her out if she can't do it. Hugh spots Nia and shows up behind her after Ethan vanishes. Sean notices Nia slipping the SD card back in, and when they return to the hideout, he gets Hugh to dispose of the SD card. When John is done with work, he goes home, but the driver poisons John with Chimera on the way. John is placed in quarantine and Dr. Nekhorvich tells John he's infected with Chimera. He baits John to tell him why Chimera was created and finds out he's a greedy pig who's willing to sacrifice people's lives for profit.
Creating a disease so terrible in Chimera, the cure would be priceless. I'm in business to make money.
Turns out Dr. Nekhorvich was Ethan and he wants to destroy Chimera so Sean won't have a virus to cure with Bellerophon. Billy wakes John up to make him think what he went through was a dream. Nia sneaks out when she notices Sean missing. She is glad she runs into Ethan, but it is Sean in disguise. He tells Nia not to alarm Sean and to do whatever he says. Sean is furious that she doesn't love him and thanks Hugh for a job well done. Ethan comes up with a game plan to sneak into Biosite as stealthily as possible to avoid casualties. Sean predicts Ethan's plan from looking at his track record and believes he will destroy Chimera, but Sean will stop him. Ethan flies to the top of Biosite to rappel down, and luckily Luther gets the fans to open up when Ethan rappels down. Ethan unhooks himself so Billy can retract the cable before it alarms the security system on the fan. He gears up when he locates the virus and destroys the virus in the incubation room. Sean arrives at Biosite, and Luther notices Nia in the building. He assumes Sean brought her there, but he can't get through to Ethan until the generators go off. Someone places a bomb on the van where Luther is quarterbacking and Luther notices it, but he gets stuck when the bomb goes off. Ethan goes to destroy the last sample, but Sean arrives to stop Ethan from destroying the last vial. They engage in a gunfight, but plot armor saves Ethan from the trained gunman. Ethan starts dual-wielding CS:GO's dual Beretta like a beast and tries to get the vial but gets trapped when he fails. Sean brings out Nia to force her to get the vial because he knows Ethan will stay put. Nia injects herself with Chimera after picking it up, and Sean is unable to shoot her because she will cause him to lose $37 million. Ethan blows up the place and brings Nia with him to get away. The guards storm the room after the explosion and they get into a gunfight with Sean's men. Ethan is annoyed Nia injected herself, but now he knows she loves him.
I wasn't thinking! Just trying to stop you from getting hurt, that's all!
Nia wants Ethan to end her because she thinks they can't make it out together. Ethan breaches the wall to escape and promises to cure her before he leaves because he isn't willing to sacrifice her. Luther somehow survived the explosion and needs to fix the computer before they can track Nia's location, but Nia will end herself to not infect others with the virus. Sean drops off Nia and meets with John to make their trade. Ethan climbs up to the meetup location and swiftly takes out the guards one by one. He sneaks in to surprise attack a guard and puts him to sleep. Sean takes out Chimera and Bellerophon, and a doctor does his due diligence. John will give them the money, but Sean wants to use the $30 million to buy Biosite stock options because he plans to spread the virus and make billions off the options.
When your stock goes north of 200, those options will be worth billions.
Ethan throws an explosive at the door and shoots it when someone opens the door. He shows himself, and Sean orders his men to take down Ethan. Sean is in a hurry to get his money and gets John to start the transfer. Hugh leads a group of men to look for Ethan, but a pigeon gives Ethan's position away after everyone splits up. Ethan kicks Hugh, but he pulls a gun and Ethan unpins a grenade when Hugh tells him to raise his hand. The explosion knocks them both out, but Sean can apprehend Ethan. Hugh brings Ethan to Sean so he can torture Ethan before he terminates him. Sean notices Ethan's pinky is bandaged up and screams in agony when he finds out he terminated Hugh. Ethan runs out of there with the virus and cure, but the guards stop Ethan from escaping on the helicopter. He easily shoots the guards who are in his way and gets Luther to clear the bridge for him. Luther switches to the grenade launcher to take them out for shooting at him so Ethan can get past the bridge. Ethan shoots the gunman and blows up a car with his amazing aim. Luther fixes the computer to locate Nia, and Ethan wants Billy to pick her up because they are running out of time to save her. Ethan sees a truck coming and blinds his pursuers to let the truck take them out. Sean can catch up to shoot at Ethan, but he can hide behind the motorcycle and they enjoy a game of cat and mouse. They start hand-to-hand combat after crashing their motorcycles. Sean seems to be getting the upper hand after hitting Ethan with a rock and pulls a knife because he can't fight like a man. Ethan can take the knife away from Sean with his strength, but Sean can bait Ethan to not use it and they continue fighting.
Go ahead, use a hunt. It's not a bad way to go.
Naya is on the edge ready to jump, but they arrive in time to pick her up and they fly over to Ethan. A coward Sean is getting his ass whooped and goes for the gun, but Ethan can disarm him to continue with the beatdown. Sean drops onto a rock after Ethan's kick and Ethan sees his lifeless body. Ethan goes to Naya when they arrive, but Sean is just pretending to be dead to pull a gun on them. Ethan tosses the cure to Luther to kick up the gun to shoot Sean multiple times to ensure his death. Luther injects Naya with the cure and Ethan is glad she's okay. Ethan reports back to Swanbeck on completing his mission. Swanbeck is disappointed Ethan couldn't bring back a sample and expunges all of Naya's criminal records. Ethan goes to meet up with Naya later on to enjoy his vacation. Well, that's it for Mission Impossible 2. If you got up to this far, watch the next part or other recaps you may like. If you enjoyed the video, please support me with a like and comments. Don't forget to subscribe and thanks for watching.
Halt! You should have killed me.